Here's something that I hope never happens to you, but I know that shops being shops, humidity being humidity, sometimes these things happen. This is a cast iron bandsaw table that has quite a bit of surface rust on it. So what I want to do is show you how you can fix this and help prevent this from happening again in the future. Luckily, like I said, it's surface rust. The rust is not pitted into the cast iron, so that's good because it hasn't left any holes behind. So I think once we get through this whole process, you're going to be surprised at, one, how easy it is, and two, how close we can get this table to its original condition with a little bit of cleaner and a little bit of elbow grease. I've got a couple different products here that are going to help solve this problem. One is a penetrant right off the shelf from a home center or a hardware store. Same stuff you would normally use on a rusty bolt or anything like that that you're trying to get loose. The other, a little bit more woodworking specific, this is out of a dry lube family of products. This one is a product that will take rust off of here. So let's do a little experiment here. We'll do a little bit on one side and then the other product on the other side. The key is make your life easy, get the stuff on there, give it a chance to sit and work so that you don't have to work so hard. Got a good coating of that on there. Now let's run this on this side. While this stuff is cooking a little bit, get yourself some Scotch-Brite or some sandpaper. Basically what we're going to do here is wet sand this cast iron in order to get the rust off. So, like I said, before the wet sanding begins, let's give this stuff a couple minutes to do its thing. Then we'll come back and see what an abrasive does to start cleaning that rust off. This has had about 10 minutes to sit, and I did rub a corner down here just to see where it was at, know that we could come back and get started. So let's take the Scotch-Brite pad to this, see what happens. Now, here's the deal. Scotch-Brite is a great choice for this because it's abrasive, but it's not real abrasive. If you find that you have problem spots, I'm suspecting that right through here, the Scotch-Brite might not quite be enough to clean that up. Then you can go to a sandpaper. I'll start with probably a 220 grit, see how that goes. You can tell, you can see just from the orange I'm producing here that a lot of rust is coming off. Let's rub on this side a little bit, see how we did over here. At this point, it's just an elbow grease thing. You got to take the time to abrade the surface and undo what water and nature did to your cast iron. All right, let me do a little cleanup with paper towel just so you can see where I'm at. Got a ways to go yet. I'm going to switch to sandpaper. The Scotch-Brite's not quite going to be enough here. It's better. We've opened up a lot of cast iron here that we couldn't see before. But I'm going to apply some more schmutz on there. We'll do the same thing. This stuff on this side, this product over on this side, but I'm going to go to that 220 grit sandpaper, a little bit more abrasive. It's going to do the work a little bit faster for us. Let's see where we're at now. Ah, much better than it was. Big difference going to that sandpaper because it is more abrasive than the Scotch-Brite. But I got a little ways to go yet. Some more of that black is going to come off, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get some more of the liquid on here. I'm going to let it do its thing, keep working with the sandpaper, and get this top cleaner yet than it is right now. Here's where I'm at. I've got about 15 minutes of elbow grease time in this baby, and I've progressed through the 220 grit sandpaper. I'm up to a 280 grit piece here, wrapping it up, and I did wipe it and then reapply the liquid twice in the time I was rubbing it. Now what I want to do is get this cleaned off. So I'm going to use a clean paper towel, a little bit of mineral spirits on it. That's going to help cut through this. There, now you can see the work that the abrasive and the rust remover did for us. And like I mentioned earlier, the good news is the top isn't pitted. It was really rusty, but there are no holes left behind by that rust. It was all just surface rust. So one of the lessons out of this is when you're tool shopping, if you find some used tool that wasn't very well taken care of and you see that surface rust on it, now you know that it can be cleaned up. Good question would be, why all that hand sanding? Why not take a power sander to this? I just don't like the chance that with a power sander I'm going to take too much material off. I'd rather hand sand the whole thing, watch it real close, make sure that I'm just taking the rust off, I'm not really removing any cast iron. So this did a real nice job of cleaning this up. What we should look at next is what steps can we take so that this doesn't happen again. When it comes to cleaning up that top, it's a really good idea to wet sand it like I did. It could be tempting to just go straight to sandpaper, but the wet sanding really eliminates a lot of the elbow grease that you'd have to do in the absence of using those rust removers. Now, what we want to do is make sure this never happens again. So a couple solutions here. Carnauba-based paste wax is one solution. This is the same stuff that somebody might use on a wooden floor or a wooden piece of furniture. The key is, like always, no silicone in the product because we don't want that to migrate into your material. I'm going to go back, because I'm way too lazy to use paste wax and rub it out, to my tabletop sealer, spritz that on, just like I've done on all my tools, rub it out. Now a couple reminders, this particular tabletop actually got rained on. There was a leak in a roof and it dripped right on the tabletop. That's how it got so bad. Hopefully that'll never happen in your shop, but just humidity in the air is enough to cause rust on cast iron. So the sealer is really going to help prevent that. Another thing, when you're walking into your shop with a soda can or a coffee cup, don't ever set those down on your cast iron tabletops because they're going to sweat and that's going to drip down onto the cast iron and it's going to leave a little ring on the tabletop. Well, this did a great job of cleaning up cast iron, and we've cleaned up on a lot of ideas about setting up and maintaining tools in your shop. Table saw, joiner, bandsaw, planers, a lot of great information to help make sure that your tools are set up correctly and that they're going to keep running and running and running so you get a lifetime of good hard work out of the tools in your shop. Happy woodworking and have fun.